Hello everyone, I'm El Director. This is El Director Vision. Today, we have an unboxing for something that I think is pretty cool, and then I have a very exciting and cool announcement that I'm going to make after this, so be sure to stick around. But first, let's get on with the unboxing here. I feel like I gotta sneeze too. Oh man, 'tis the season, right? So some backstory on this. As many of you know, I moved from Spokane, Washington to Montana like 6 or 7 years ago to work on a children's television show. And one of the things that my boss there at the time had was what I'm about to unbox right now. And let's get into this and show you, and then we'll continue the story. Sweet! Alright. What could it be, I wonder? What could it be? This is Hollywood Camera Work Visual Effects for Directors. And my boss had a copy of this, and I went ahead and I took them because he wanted me to be able to learn stuff and be able to do certain things that we were doing on the show. So I made a copy of all of them for myself. I didn't burn them to DVD though, I just ripped the files straight. Unfortunately, the rips that I ended up with ended up missing fairly substantial chunks throughout it. And you know, I've had this now for 6 or 7 years, and there's always these gaps of missing time, and I don't remember what was on the original DVDs. And I'm like, it would be really good to get these. Now, funnily enough, I'd actually gone ahead and burned them to DVD eventually from my own rips. So even my DVDs have got the missing time in them. So I got online, I went to HollywoodCameraWork.com, and these run for about $350 for this particular set. So then I got on eBay, and I looked this one up. This particular set I got for $30 on eBay. And yeah, the outer box is just a little scuffed up, but let's see how the DVDs look on the inside. I don't want to do that one because no one ever watches the first part of the course. Let's take a look at this one. Mixing and matching. And this is in really good shape. And the disc is scratch free. That's awesome. So I got a $350 course for $30 plus shipping. It cost me $12 for shipping. So definitely a really good deal. And I reference these all the time at my current job the past couple of years. I'm always learning new stuff, whether it be instancing for particle simulations and doing physics simulations, node-based compositing techniques, like a lot of stuff that I've learned through this course. This has really helped me out as a filmmaker. Highly recommend it. Is it still valid today? I mean, this came out, I want to say, yeah, 2009. So this is literally almost 10 years old now. And I think a lot of it is still very valid today. There's some stuff that's a bit outdated, but overall, you're learning concepts and not the software. And so, aside from some of the stuff on, what was it? I want to say some of the tracking stuff was a lot more difficult back then than it is now, but even then, a lot of that still applies. Yeah, I mean, if you're an independent filmmaker and you're doing your own visual effects, definitely recommend getting your hands on this course. It's well worth the $350. I just didn't have $350 lying around to spend, so that's why I didn't do that. Now, on to my very special announcement that I'm super excited about. Are you guys ready for it? So, I was talking to my producing partner when it comes to the film stuff about a year ago, a little less than a year ago. And I was like, man, I really want to make a feature film again. I haven't done a feature film since Leap Rise of the Beast. Since then, I've written some features. I wrote Derek, I wrote Leap 3, many drafts of Leap 3. I'm trying to get Leap 3 financed, but I need like $20,000 to make that movie. And we did Leap 2 for just $2,000 back in 2010, which is just insane to think about. So he tells me, my producing buddy says, why don't you make another $2,000 movie? You don't have the money yet to make Leap 3, he says, why not try to come up with some other low-budget story? And all these story ideas I had were all for like much bigger budget things. And I said, like, well, so what do? I said, I don't have a story for it. The story's got to come first. I don't have anything that I'm passionate enough that I'd want to do it on that could be done with like one person in one location, essentially. He says, what about making a movie about your time being homeless? He goes, you told me that story. He goes, I think that'd make a really good movie. And I got to thinking, I'm like, that could actually work. They say when you're writing a movie, you need to write what you know, and nobody knows what that's like and what my story's like better than me at that point. And so I am very pleased to announce I've just finished draft 3 of the script, and we are calling it Surviving the Wild. So we are going to be shooting that this coming summer, and this is basically Surviving the Wild, the movie. We're not going to call it the movie, but the movie itself will be called Surviving the Wild, and because it is based on my story about taking the skills that I had learned doing a few survival shows. I'd done 4 episodes at that point, taking those and then applying it now to my real life situation as I'm actually having to deal with living out of my car in the mountains of Montana. So I'm going to be announcing a Kickstarter video here very soon. I've got working on the design for that right now and what kind of perks we want to offer you guys and that kind of thing. The really cool thing is too is that it's not going to be a $2,000 movie like the initial idea was, but in the spirit of let's make this movie for as little money as possible but still make it look really good. I think it's going to be about $5,000 is what it's going to take to make it work. And so I'll be reaching out to you guys to help finance that. You've been watching me and my dogs and friends on the show for years, and I know a lot of you guys have really enjoyed that, and I've enjoyed presenting the stuff for you guys, but now I'm asking, or I will be asking for your help here very soon to see if we can't come up with the $5,000 that we need to shoot this movie. And I think that $5,000 is definitely a lot more attainable than the $20,000 that I need for Leap 3. So hopefully we can make this happen and shoot that this summer. We're going to shoot it on location where I actually lived out of my car, so that's pretty cool. And I know a lot of you guys have seen Surviving the Wild, and you know that I'm running around with just a GoPro essentially and a handy cam on a stick, and like, oh yeah, and I'm vlogging the entire time. There'll be a little bit of that at the beginning of this, but most of the movie is going to be very cinematic. It's going to feel like a real movie. If you guys want kind of an example of like one of my latest works, watch my short film Rosie, which you can find linked in the description below. I did that for a 1-minute short film contest about 2 months ago, and that was probably the best example I can give you guys as far as what the look and feel of Surviving the Wild, the film, will end up being. Because we shoot it with my cinema camera, I run it through my entire post-production setup over here, put a lot of work into the sound mix, and the cool thing is too, that short film didn't cost me any money. It literally just cost me gas to go up to Bonner's Ferry to go shoot the thing. So, yeah, so just be thinking about that in the back of your heads and be looking for the Kickstarter announcement video coming very soon. I'm super stoked to share this with you guys, and I really think you guys are going to like the full treatment that we're going to give the film. So with that said, I'm El Director. This is El Director Vision. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace!